hopefully performs in the similar kind of a manner.
Absolutely. Rajesh, on the other hand, a very positive story as far as growth is concerned in the Indian market were highlighted by the management as well.
Good morning, everybody. This is a definitely exciting story. The market was waiting for its listing since very long period of time. It's one of the largest AMC on terms of AUM and all. Even the equity portfolio is doing well. SIPs have been growing like anything in the past 2-3 years. We have seen SIP data coming in every month, except for 1-2 months where SIPs have gone down. SIP growth has been good. And the kind of under penetration still we have in mutual fund and equities, I think the potential is huge. Going forward, these AMC companies or market infrastructure companies are going to do well. We are bullish on a long-term, for a long-term horizon. Maybe your likes of SBI Fund Management or IDFC AMC are good long-term bets.
All right. So that's the bit on SBI Funds Management, but it's time for a short break, and post that we'll start connecting with our viewers. And just before we slip into the break, let's quickly flash the QR code that you can scan, get connected with our WhatsApp number and send across your stock-specific question. We'll start answering your questions after this short break.
Welcome back. You tune into Buy Now, Sell Now. This is your show where we get all your stock-specific questions answered. The number is flashing on top of your screen. Start writing into us and we'll get them answered by our experts. So without further ado, let's address the first query that's coming in from Rakesh Gupta. He says, due to poor quarterly results posted by these banks, they have plummeted. Please advise on a hold or a sell on Axis Bank. The entry price is 1300. HDFC Bank that he's entered at 820, and Kotak Mahindra Bank, the entry price is 396. All right. First, let me quickly come and take a tech check from you, Kunal. As he rightly pointed out, right after the quarter results that these banks posted, these banks declined. They had a sharp fall right after the results. On the charts, how do they look like, and what would be your recommendation? Then we'll quickly get a fundamental check as well.
So I don't see this as a very negative for the stock price, especially after this cut of 5-7%, which you've seen for these private sector banking names in the last 2-3 days. Because broadly, I think such kind of impact in terms of quarterly results for the stock has a certain shelf life. That shelf life could be 1 week, 10 days, broadly for these stocks, where a majority of the impact generally happens. And then post that, the stocks generally go into a consolidation. And assuming if the market recovers, then you tend to see these stocks going back into a recovery phase. So I would believe that a major part of the impact is now behind for these quality stocks. Yes, it's been a tough quarter for these names on the quarterly charts, but I strongly sense that over the next maybe a couple of weeks, these stocks could come back towards a strong support territory, and from there should start to form a decent base and then bounce back on the upside. I would suggest to hold on to the existing quantity since you are long-term, assuming you're a long-term investor.
All right, thanks Kunal for that. But coming to you also, Rajesh, on the fundamental level, would you recommend a hold on any of these banks? What should be the strategy?
See, I completely concur with Kunal's view that given some time, these are going to perform. These are good names to be there. The only problem is at this point of time, we look at even Bank Nifty or Private Bank Index. PSU Banking Index is outperforming the Private Bank Index, and that's taking a toll on all the large cap names in the private banking space. As far as numbers are concerned, the numbers were decent enough in this tough times. I think Kotak numbers were very good, followed by Axis and HDFC. Fundamentally, if I talk about on valuation and other parameters for a long-term horizon, if you have a time horizon of maybe 12 to 18 months, all three of them qualify as long-term investments. So what I would suggest is these kind of stocks should be taken as an opportunity. Any dips should be taken as an opportunity to accumulate rather than going by daily tick by tick price charts. So depending on your time horizon, I would say if you have a short-term time horizon or you have taking for a trading purpose, keep a stop loss. Otherwise, for investment, these are good names.
All right, if it's the investment view, all the names are good and you can have them in the portfolio. But let's move on. We have a live viewer on the phone line, Mr. Unni Krishnan. Hi, good morning, sir. You're calling from?
Hi, good morning. I'm calling from Trivandrum.
All right. So you can ask your question. Our experts can hear you.
Hi, good morning to both of you. I have some investable funds for around 20 lakhs with me. I already have a holding in Dr. Reddy's, which I bought around 900 odd. Now, I would be interested in investing it further in the pharma sector. So would Reddy's or Sun Pharma, which would be a good buy?
Okay. Any specific reason why you just want to put more money in the pharma space?
Because, I made a good return, I think, on Dr. Reddy's.
Okay.
And going forward, I have a time horizon of maybe 5-6 years. So,
all right. So that's the story that you want to bank on. Rajesh, I'll come to you.
Strong company, no doubts on that. They're doing good. Sometimes there are problems in overseas market, but then with the kind of time horizon the gentleman has, I think this is a strong name to keep on one's portfolio. The other names which I can suggest at this point of time in pharma space can be the Cipla or Aurobindo. They are also doing well. So one can divide the new investable funds in these three names and continue to hold for a long-term horizon.
All right, let's move on then to the next question that's coming in WhatsApp. Manisha Kala writing in from Mumbai. She says she has Ambuja Cement. The entry price is 431 rupees. She said she bought this 6 months back. She wants to know the future for the cement sector and Ambuja Cement as well. Should I invest more, hold or sell? Okay, so she had bought this 6 months back and she wants your view on the cement sector in general. Also, Rajesh, coming to you, do you see cement sector, do you see a re-rating coming in the cement sector? Because the cement sector, has been, at least on the valuation front, after the correction, do you see there's some comfort over there?
See, to be very frank, the cement sector as such has been ranked underperformer in the last 6 months or maybe more. The valuations have become attractive because of the kind of underperformance which we have seen in the market. There are some good names which can be accumulated. Ambuja is one of them. The best one, what I would suggest is go for Ultratech, the largest capacity. They are doing well. The commentary that came was very exciting, I would say, the kind of expansion they're going to make. And if somebody is not comfortable in going for Ultratech because of its high ticket size, one can go for Grasim, which again is a holding company of Ultratech. Otherwise, Ambuja is also a good name. So keep holding.
That's the advice coming in from Rajesh. Let's move on. And we have a viewer connected from Ahmedabad, Dwanit Shah. Dwanit, hi, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Fine.
What's the question?
I have make position in the Amit Chand Exports.
Okay.
I bought some 1,351 shares at 162.
Okay.
So what should I do right now? I am in profit. But my view is for 6 months to 1 year. But I'm still confused. Like I am already in profit. So
right.
Do I book or do I hold?
Sure. 1 to 2 years, you're already in profit, so congratulations, and you don't want to book your profits in parts as well. Rajesh, 1 or 2 years time frame, what would you recommend?
What I would suggest is book partial profit at this point of time because the valuations are on a higher side. Maybe if the next 2-3 quarters some good numbers come in, then we can recheck. But at this point of time, valuations are on a high side. It would be prudent to book a partial profit so that acquisition costs also come down. And by if any chance the stock corrects, one can have a cushion to buy again.
All right, let's move on then to the next question that's coming in from Sandeep Anand, who's writing in. He says he has 2 shares and he wants to ask the question to Rajesh. He says, please suggest electrocastings. The share that he's bought it at is 87 rupees and Balmer Lorry that he's purchased at 74 rupees. He's not given a time horizon, but I'm assuming it's for the long term since he's asked Rajesh. Rajesh, what would be your recommendation for electrocasting and Balmer Lorry?
Both are a strong hold at this point of time. Even somebody having a long-term horizon, by long-term I mean at least 12 to 18 months, one can even add at the level. Taking one by one, Electro Steel Casting is the largest DI manufacturing company in India, doing very well with all the kind of noise on water industry as such. Electrosteel is one of the biggest player, and it's corrected quite a lot, if I'm not wrong, from around 200 odd levels to 70 odd levels. So the comfort is also there at these prices. Downside seems limited unless the numbers are very bad. One can continue to hold. Bamalori in itself is doing very well. The CFS stations, lubricants, travel and tourism, all divisions are doing well. And it's a long-term hold, I would say. So both the companies are good hold.
These are a good hold. Let's move on. The other question is on Black Box, and this is from Mr. Geeta Anand. The buy price, okay, she wants to know if this should be hold on or she should be selling it. She bought it at 535. Okay, she's in profits right now. Kunal, a quick take?
I don't track the stock, so I'll skip this one.
Rajesh, any long-term view?
Book full profits, numbers are on, valuations are on a higher side. The entire positives has been discounted. Since listing, stock has done well, and now the valuations are on a higher side. Try to book profits.
All right, let's move on then. This is coming from Shiva. He's writing in from Bengaluru. He says he wants to know the short-term view on BEL. The entry price is 419. Kunal, coming to you. BEL, he's for the next 6 months, he's sitting at a loss. What should be his strategy? And he wants to hold it for a shorter period of time. Would you recommend that, or would you ask him to wait longer?
So wait longer is a better strategy for BEL. But since I am assuming that if you've taken it on the shorter time frame, for the next few weeks, I would sense that the stock should be a little bit more sideways. We are seeing a lack of momentum for many of the defense names, and there is one odd day where you see the stock up by a couple of percentage points, but then there's hardly any major follow through. The breakout point, which I would believe BEL could probably come back into momentum, that breakout zone is about 420 mark. So I would sense that if you can hold on to it for say a certain period of time till the stock comes back about this 420 levels, and once the momentum sets back, that could be a better strategy. But from a short-term angle or a short-term perspective, like for the next maybe a week or so, I don't see any major momentum coming back into the stock price looking at the chart so far.
All right, let's move on. The other WhatsApp question is coming in from Manish, and HAL is the stock. Buy price is 4560. Wants to know the strategy, and I think it's a short-term take. Kunal.
See, for HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics, the chart patterns are again very, very stagnant. We've been stuck at this 4500 range for HAL, plus minus 50 points, 100 points for the stock price in the last couple of weeks or 3-4 weeks. I would sense that the stock may continue to do that over the near term. It needs to break past about 4600 levels for a major breakout to shape in. So just like what I mentioned for BEL, for HAL, the breakout zone is 4600 mark. Once the stock crosses about those levels, that's where you may expect momentum to come back. So if you want, you can hold on till that time. But from a short-term view, I think it's better that the stock as of now goes into consolidation. So it's better that you can continue to hold on.
All right, let's move on. Then Zinat Koster is writing in from Anant Raj. She says that what can she expect? When can she expect a decent up move in the stock? And the entry price is 560 rupees. Let me come to you, Kunal, on this. She has Anant Raj. She's sitting at a small profit. She wants to know when can she expect decent moves to come in on the charts. How does Anant Raj look to you in the near term? Do you see an up move on the anvil?
See, the stock has started to do well. I think it's a combination now of real estate, data center, etc. And that's, I think, playing out decently well. But remember, I think Anant Raj was one of the few stocks which rallied up from being two-digit stocks, I think 50, 70 rupees, towards a point when the stock went to almost 950 mark. So after a 10x or a 15x kind of a move, you're bound to see a point where the stock stagnates, consolidates, goes into a correction for 2-3 years at least. And that's what I think Anant Raj has done over the last 2 years. So it's like the stock is consolidating. The lower end of the price trend is 450 mark, which is a huge support level for the stock price broadly over the span of the last 2 years. So that should remain as a support point. And in case the stock dips down to that support, I would suggest that you may look to add on to the stock price. On the higher side, I would sense that over the next say 3 quarters or so, the stock can retest levels of 750 to 800. So I would be bullish on the stock price. And as I said, 450 could be a good point where you may accumulate. And on the higher side, 750 could be a decent target from the next 6 to 9 months perspective.
750 target in 6 to 9 months in Anantraj. Let's move on. The other question is coming in from Shaurya Saxena. And is it a good time to buy more of SBI, keeping 5 to 6 months view? And right now, he's bought it at 1100. Kunal, a take for 5 to 6 months?
Yeah, of course, SBI I think is a very good buy. I think the stock has done reasonably well. There was a phase of lackluster price performance for SBI in the last, I think, 3-6 months. January or February 2026 is where the stock had started to go into a correction from 1200 levels to 950. I would sense that the corrective wave is now behind and the stock looks attractive at the current juncture. So if you have the next 6 months plus as a time horizon, I would suggest to go for SBI with a potential time frame. With the potential time frame which you have, I would look at a target of at least 1150 to 1200.
All right, with that, it's time for a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll get all the stock-specific questions answered on the other side. So stay tuned and keep writing into us.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now, and we're answering your stock-specific question. Rajesh Agarwal, Kunal Bostra, guest on the show, are connected, and we are also joined by our live viewer now from Mumbai, Mr. Bhagwan. Hi, good morning.
Hi.
You can ask your question, sir.
My question is on one is KEC International, which I bought. Average price is 630 and 300 shares I bought.
Okay.
Can I accumulate more at the current price here?
Sure.
And second question is by the BSE, I have purchased on the average price is 20 shares at the rate of 2150.
Okay.
And I just want to know in that that the NSE stock is coming now on IPO or something. So will it affect the price of BSE? I want to know that from Mr. Kunal.
Okay. So let's take both the queries from Kunal first. Kunal?
See, KEC International, I would suggest that it's a good stock to hold on to. Even though I think the stock has gone through a decent correction the last 2 years or so when you try and compare this with the 2024 highs. But I would still believe that it's a very strong stock. You can continue to hold on. BSE, I mean, the technicality between BSE and NSE, I'll leave it to Rajesh. But if you ask me specifically on the short-term charts, I would be a little circumspect on the BSE charts. With the recent price correction, it looks like that the stock has or is nearing a break below its long-term moving average. And that, I believe, could probably dampen the sentiments for BSE on the short-term charts, say over the next 1 to 3 months. So short-term wise, I would be a little bit on the sidelines on BSE. And for KEC International, my view would be positive.
Sure. Rajesh, would you like to comment?
On BSE?
Yes, Rajesh.
Hello.
Yes, Rajesh, on BSE.
Yeah. BSE, we have been very bullish since very long period of time. In fact, to share with you, we have been recommending since the price of 200 odd rupees bonus adjusted. So it went up to 4,400. Now it's correcting. Long term, we are still positive. And the concern the gentleman has raised is that with the listing of NSE, there might be some amount of price correction on BSE. Yes, that might be a possibility. But again, we should not forget the kind of growth BSE has been witnessing. In the options and futures market as such, where the share of their FNO was almost zero, now with Sensex and BankX both doing very well, they have started gaining market share. Numbers have been quite good quarter on quarter. And if you look at the business they have a trading platform giving equity, debt, derivatives. They have a mutual fund business through Star platform. They have international presence through India INX and Global Access, 15% holding in CDSL, debt free. And we should not forget the kind of new IPOs lined up, be it Geo, Parley, Carlsberg coming up. That again is going to benefit. And the best part is NSE is going to list on BSE only. And the entire volume which NSE as a stock generates gives a bottom line to BSE. So we are very bullish on BSE going forward. 1 or 2 months or 3 months, I can't comment on that because of the kind of run-up it's witnessed and with the kind of NSE IPO on our head. But for a long-term horizon, it's certainly a hold. And any dip should be taken as an opportunity to accumulate if somebody has funds.
All right, so that's the view coming in on BSE. Let's move on to the next question that's coming in from Raj. He says that he has AB Capital. The entry price is 173. He's been holding 6,000 shares of AB Capital for the last 6 years. Can he hold it for another 5 years, or should he hold on, or should he shift to another share? Okay, he's been holding AB Capital for a while now, and look at the profits that he's made. Firstly, congratulations to you, Raj, on making such stellar gains. But he wants to know what should he do? But I'll come to you, Kunal, first. And yet again, this is a question of why has he not booked his profits yet? What would be your view?
No, I think he can continue to hold on. I would sense that AB Capital still has more room to head up higher. We've been bullish on the stock, since the levels of 145, 150 approximately a few years back. From there, the stock had gone through a first phase of a price-wise consolidation. But when the momentum started off for the stock, we saw the stock crossing levels of 200, 300, and now it surpassed the levels of 400 mark also. The entire sector, when we look at it, NBFC stroke HFC, the entire financial services sector is also making a good comeback. We've seen names like Bajaj Finance, L&T Finance, etc. coming back closer to their previous major highs. So when the sector does well, when a stock has historically done very well, and when the returns have been a little bit more moderate for the stock, or maybe a gradual as such, and it's not high-paced price action, it's all ingredients for long-term investors to continue to hold on to these kind of names. So my suggestion would be to hold.
All right, whole call coming in for Kunal. Coming to you, Rajesh, what would be your recommendation for AB Capital? He's willing to hold it for the next 5 odd years. Would you recommend a hold, or would you recommend a hold post partial profit booking, or what would be your view?
I think one should continue to hold till such time the numbers are coming in. So for 5 years, at least keep a track on the numbers going forward. At this point of time, the company is doing very well. The stock has started performing the last 1 year or so. Prior to that, it had been stagnant for a very long period of time despite good businesses. They are into AMC, stockbroking, and a whole lot gamut of financial services. The company is very strong, doing very well. One can continue to hold.
Okay, let's move on. And the next question is coming in from Bharti from Hyderabad, and wants to buy Solar Industries at current price, or if any weight is recommended. Kunal, would you give a buy call in this?
See, the stock has run up quite a lot. It's been a consistent performer over the last, I think, maybe a couple of quarters also. From 12,000, the stock has moved up to almost 19,000 mark. Short-term wise, the stock, yes, could be considered as a strong bet. But long-term wise, my only concern is because of the steep run-up the stock has shown in the last 6-7 years, from 2020, when the stock was at 750 rupees, towards the stock when the stock is at 20,000, 19,000 approximately. The run-up is a little bit more on the steeper side. So I'm not sure the longer-term picture. Short-term wise, yes, because of the recent breakout, you might look at a trading opportunity over here.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Mallikarjun is writing in. He says he has green ply. The price that he's bought it at is 227. He's a medium to long-term investor, so he wants to know the targets. Okay, coming to you, Kunal. Green ply, what would be your targets for 6 months to 1 year?
6 month wise, I would look at 340 to 360 as a potential target range for green ply. I think the stock has started to show signs of good recovery. It's recovered from those sub 200 levels to now 300 plus in the last 3-6 months. So I would sense that this recovery could sustain for the stock in the near term.
Perfect. All right, with that, it's time for a short break. But post that, we'll be having the last leg of your stock-specific questions. So stay tuned. In fact, keep sending us your questions. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now. And let's continue answering your stock-specific question. This is coming in from Mr. Sairam Tirupati, and the stock is NCC. So he wants to know whether he should be holding on to it. The buy price is 190. Kunal, a short-term take.
So continue to hold on to the stock price, even though I think the near-term charts are a little bit more weaker. But I would sense that the stock is coming back towards a major trendline support. Now, we looked at this from the 2019 lows when NCC was almost at 20-25 rupees, towards a point when the stock in 2022, I think, made a low of 53. And then the recent low of 130, 140, where the stock is trading right now. So there's a rising trendline support, which coincides just around that 125 to 130 range for NCC. maybe the stock can drift down to that level before it retests a major trendline support on the quarterly chart. But once that the mean reversion gets completed, you might expect that the stock could form a strong base for itself and then start off to move up higher. So as of now, hold on NCC.
All right, it's a hold on NCC. Let's move on and answer the next question. This one's coming from M. Chaudhary, who's writing in from Kolkata. He says he has Morpin Labs. He's bought Morpin at 61 rupees. What should he do? Should he exit? What should be the strategy? Kunal, coming to you, do you see any re-rating happening on Morpin Labs? He's been holding it for a while and he wants to know if he should be exiting the stock or what should be his strategy.
See, it's a very high beta name. There are two things which you have to understand. One is that you purchase at the higher end of the price curve for a high beta stock, so that risk reward is a little off for such kind of names. So when we see typically breakout on high beta stocks, we wait for the prices to come back into a mild retracement and then go for a buy into these stocks. So Morpin Labs, for example, had a breakout above 61, 62 mark, and then the stock now is retraced back again. So at current levels is actually a better zone to try and buy the stock, from a short to medium term perspective. Now, if the breakout which has happened for the stock in the last month or so, if that breakout seems to be holding up, then we might expect one more round of upside for the stock price. So if your time frame is restricted towards short term and if you've invested a heavy amount of quantity, I would not suggest to add more, but then watch out for a move potentially where the stock may come back towards retesting 61 to 65 levels. That could be a good price point where you may consider booking profits.
Okay, let's move on. The next question is coming in from Mr. Murthy, and he's bought 100 shares of Jaro Institute at 580, and he wants a long-term advice on this. Rajesh, would you like to comment?
I think it's not the kind of stock which should be kept in a long-term portfolio, considering the current numbers and all. So better to have a short-term view. I would suggest to try to exit on any of these.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. Pratiksha is writing in from Muscat. She says she's holding MTAR Tech. Please suggest the target price for the next 1 year and also if she can buy more for the long term. Kunal, coming to you, what would be a target for MTAR Tech and would you recommend buying more of this?
See, the stock had done very well for itself. There was a point where from 1500 or 1800, the stock had jumped up to 8400, 500 mark in the last 1.5 odd year. But now the stock is naturally going through a phase of a severe price correction. Multiple reasons for that. So I would sense that this is a corrective wave. Let the stock first show signs of stability. Now, in this kind of a correction, it's difficult to anticipate what could be the bottom the stock may hit and from where the stock may see its support levels. So it's a progressive chart. So we'll just wait for another few weeks, before the stock comes back into a strong bounce back and then a support zone. So as of now, a hold, but not an add.
All right, and with that, it's a wrap on the viewer query session today. Thank you so much, both of you, for taking your time out and answering our viewer stock-specific questions. Thank you.